About React Singletons. Right? So Singletons is a design pattern that is not peculiar to React, but it's a design pattern that's common in many different languages. Where sometimes it makes sense to keep a single instance of a particular class, a single object around that is accessible everywhere. Right? That's usually used for encapsulating certain behaviors, certain services that should be accessible from everywhere. Okay. One common use of singletons is for data management or data access. If you're writing an application, typically it's a bad practice that if you're gonna access a database that you spread out your data access code all throughout your code base, right? Then instead, what you want to do is modularize data access into a single set of classes, usually referred to as data access objects or some data layer, right? That is responsible for doing this, right? And usually the way it's implemented is through the use of implementing singletons, right? You instantiate a single data access object and you share that across the everyone, so that whenever there was a data access, you always go through this one singleton. Yes, right? So we want to be able to do the same thing in React. The architecture looks somewhat like this. We Here we have the on the React side, in the React client, right? And here we have the server. In this case, is the Java server, right? Eventually, it'll be a Node.js server and whatnot. But for now, the data server right now is just exposing a single data access web service, we refer to it, and this one can receive either a post, it can receive a put, it can receive a get, it can receive a delete, right? And depending what comes in here, it calls different functions, right? A function that actually creates, right? All the ones that update, right? All other ones that delete, right? So it maps each one of these into these functions that actually manipulate the data and store it. Right now, it's not being stored into a database, not yet. We'll eventually do that, not yet. Right now, it's just storing it in its local memory. But on the client, we want to be able to have a sister version of this, right? A mirror image of this, right? And we already have an example of what we did. We did that in jQuery, right? We created a user service, right? We created a user service, right, that provided all the functionality of being able to create a user, update a user, delete a user, find all the users. And what it did, it created all these all the HTTP requests. Well, we need to do something similar now for courses, right? So we need here a course service that allows us to do similar things, right? Be able to create the courses, update the courses, delete the courses, and read the courses, right? And I should have spelled it right. It's a CRUD, right? All the CRUD operations on courses. Yes. So it's a good practice to encapsulate all data access into a single set of classes or objects, right, that are responsible for manipulating all this. And then this would be used across multiple components. In this case, the course list component will use it to read the courses, right, to display a table of courses. If I select one to edit, then the course editor also is going to use this course service to retrieve that particular course. And if you want to change the name of the course, if you want to update the course, add a module, whatnot, it would use that same API, right? That eventually will talk to the server. For this particular assignment, it is not required that you actually talk to the server, right? If you want, go ahead. It would be really cool. We are giving you a JSON file. We are giving you a JSON file that you're going to be able to read into the service. Once it's read into the service, you can start manipulating the data once it's read into the memory, right? Adding a course, removing a course, updating a course, things like that. It is not required that you write out to the file again. So we can't do that. We could only do that if this were on the server. We can't do that. So right now we're just going to be able to read it into memory, and then manipulate it in memory. Update, remove, delete, and whatnot. Yes. If you want to go ahead and start looking ahead a little bit, you can feel free to start playing around with the API that we gave you. That certainly would work, but it's not required for this assignment. Okay. Let's see. All right, so let's take a look at the React singletons.